Let's welcome back to the show from House Ways and Means. It's Congressman Greg Steube. By the way, I don't know what the president is talking about when he says it's for the first time in a long time we're investing in America. I mean, the government's been doing that since the Revolutionary War. So now we've got Majority Whip Tom Emmer now out of the race, out of the speaker race. Former President Trump has criticized him. You voted president. Who do you want to be speaker? There's chaos here.
Well, I supported Jordan on the floor, those 3 votes last week. Obviously, he withdrew after the conference, wouldn't support him further. In 15 minutes, we have new nominations for speaker. At 6 o'clock tonight, we go back in. We're going to do another candidates forum. I suspect that Mike Johnson out of Louisiana is going to put his name back in the hat. He was the number 2 to Emmer. Mike is much more conservative, has a much more conservative record. I think conservatives could rally behind Mike Johnson. I don't know who else is going to run, but that's certainly an option. There was a motion on the floor to just by consent bring him in as the nominee and do a roll call vote, but that failed. So I think you're going to see him put his hat back in the ring. I wouldn't be surprised if you see other people of the 9 or 8 that ran this last time, like Jack Bergman and some of these others who ran, put their name back in the hat, Kevin Hearn, and see if they can get to where they need to get. But hopefully tonight we can rally behind a nominee. The challenge is we have to find somebody that the conservatives in our party are okay with and the establishment or the people that have been here longer are okay with. And we haven't found that person yet. Hopefully we can do that tonight. So
there's concern. Is the Republican Party in the House, are they worried about how this looks to voters? The fear is they may not keep the House majority in the next election with all the infighting going on. USA Today's Suffolk voter poll, 7 out of 10 say stop the speaker fight now. Pick somebody.
Yeah, well, you don't want to just pick somebody to put somebody in the chair. Either we want a conservative to run the House to stop this reckless government spending, to be a stopgap against Joe Biden and Chuck Schumer in the Senate. In a year from now, when the election is, I think people won't remember the fact that we spent 2.5 weeks trying to decide who was going to be the replacement for Kevin McCarthy. I want a conservative in the speaker's chair. I want somebody who's going to cut spending, who's going to stand against these horrible policies of the Biden administration. And I think we need to do what we need to do to find who that person is, and somebody that all 217 of the party can coalesce behind.
Who do you want?
I think at this point, Mike Johnson would be a good pick. Kevin Hearn and him have a similar voting record. I think you're going to see Hearn's name put back in, but Mike Johnson had a lot more support going into the conference this last time. He had about 100 votes to Emmer's like 117. So now with Emmer out, I don't know where the more left side of our party is going to be, but there was a motion from somebody in a Democrat district to just bring Mike Johnson back up. I don't know of a single member in our conference that has anything bad to say about Mike Johnson. He's well liked within the conference. He's a conservative by credentials, and his vote, he's been in leadership the last couple of years. So it's certainly somebody that I think the whole conference could rally behind.
Okay, let's listen to some of your colleagues on the fight here. Watch this.
I think people are tired of all this. If you don't deal with the consequences of the 8 who worked with all the Democrats to put it in here, putting a new person up each time, we're going to be in the same place we were before. And you got to fix that to start out with. I mean, the question earlier, are we afraid that we're at such a broken point now that some Republicans may go work with Democrats? That's already taken place.
Well, we're still working through the discussion in Congress.
What are your reservations with Mr. Emmer?
I didn't say I had any.
Reservations about Mr. Emmer?
Probably have some reservations about every person
enough
in Congress.
To vote against him on the floor.
Well, that's what I said we're working through.
The objectors are coming from so many different directions. My motivation from day one is we have to turn the lights back on in the House of Representatives. You cannot have an extended government shutdown. And the irony of all of this is that by keeping the government open, Speaker McCarthy was ousted, and now we have essentially a government shutdown. So I squarely put the blame on the 8 and the 208, both, who have put us in this position, and we gotta get the House open.
Congressman, are the 8 going to go for Johnson?
I believe so. The 8 are certainly not going to flip and go back for Kevin McCarthy, so I don't think that's an opportunity for us. But I would think that the 8 would vote for Mike Johnson in conference.
You're terrific, Congressman Steube. Love having you on. It's good to see you again.
See you.